Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome me back. I'm back. I think it's been a month. It might have been a little less than a month. It could be 3 weeks. I don't really know. And I keep looking up over here because Tobacco, one of the kittens, is in the window. And she may destroy everything at once if she so chooses. Probably should have removed her from the window and the room prior to starting. But that's okay. Here we are. So yeah, back again. I am Sadie. If you don't know, this is the Yarnivore Podcast. I'm Sadie Ruin on Instagram, Twitter, I think on TikTok. But I really just go there to watch other people. Unless you want to see pictures of my garden stripped together or stitched together or pictures of my pets. It's really all that's on TikTok. But you can find me mostly on Instagram. And I am on Ravelry, haven't been there in a while, don't plan on going back for a while, unless I absolutely have to. Have a little drink. Okay, it's warm here. It's warm here in the plains of Canada. And I apologize. I had planned to record this like last week, or was it the weekend before? Either way, I had planned to, and then I had to get a bunch of garden in. Kind of obsessed with my garden. I may or may not include pictures prior or post, just so you can see what I'm doing. I may be a little nutty. Went a little nutty on the gardening. So I have been knitting a lot in our absences, and I'm going to show you what I've been up to in no particular order, because I don't really have a particular order in life right now. I guess we'll start with this one because it's the easiest to grab. These are socks I started for my husband. They are on a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, as a do. These are actually, I started with a 72 or 70, 72, and I took it down. So the reason I have to do a 72 for him is mostly because otherwise the ribbing's not going to get over his around the ankle, or not the ankle, but the heel and the top of the foot. It's not going to get around it unless it's 72. But after that, it's kind of pointless. So I started with a 72. And as you can see here, it kind of dips out here and here. So I took it down to a 64 by the heel. So I subtracted 8 stitches, and here's the heel mark, my afterthought heel. Interestingly enough, I had knit an entire heel flap and turned it and picked up the gusset, and he goes, I really like this style of heel. And he brought me a pair of stripy socks that had a true afterthought heel, not a fish lips kiss heel. He doesn't like those, they're too shallow for him. And I was like, okay. So I ripped it back. And after I ripped it back and put in the afterthought heel line, I had him try it on, and he told me how long he wanted them, and now I'm just into the foot. So you can see that little white kind of, it's not really white, but it looks white in the teal. And this is Opal Adventure, and there's the other information. And actually the interesting thing was, as I was knitting these, I was watching Tracy's Sock Rise, and she's using basically the same color, but she got it in an abo, which is the club for Opal. And yeah, I was like, we're doing the same colorway. I will probably have enough left over to either do myself a pair of socks or maybe my mom, but yeah. If I was using like hand-dyed self-striping, it does take basically a full skein, but Opal's very generous, so I will have left over. I don't know why. It says 100 grams, 425 meters, which is basically the same, right? But I don't know. I just get so much more out of a ball of opal. So that is the first sock. That is on the needles. And then I have, pick up the next one, I have a finished sock. And it's also on a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle. That it's best to assume that that's what I use, because that's my preferred sock knitting needle. Like, all of my sock needles are usually a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle. And if I'm looking for needles, 9 times out of 10 I will find 2.5s, because I did use 2.5s when I started, when it was super tight. But now that I've gotten loose, I have to use a US 1. And this is the Woolbutt. I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced, which I got, of course, from my internet spouse, Tracy. And I finished the ribbing on the second sock while I was watching the Schitt's Creek, a little 44-minute doodle thing, the warmest regards, best wishes, warmest regards, about the final season. I was just watching it on Netflix for something to watch, and yeah, so I finished one. And these are for me. I did a traditional heel flap because I felt like it, and because I was probably on a call and did not have any spare yarn to do an afterthought heel, and just figured, screw it, I'm just going to do this. And it looks really good anyway, I think. So yay. One sock down on those. You'll see that I've been very sock-centric lately. Oh. And apparently I needed some cookies, or some mini crisps, crackers. My kiddo gave me some crackers in my knit bag. Did not know about those. Good thing I found them. That might have been bad. Okay, up next. As everything falls apart, right? Actually, it's my phone case, which I love, which is from Rogan Wolf, which I believe is UK. But yeah, I have to take it out of its case to film, so that's why it's there. I worked on the Georgie cardigan by Layla Raven. It looks like this. And I bought it off of her personally, through her PayHip on Instagram. So I recommend going to Layla Raven on Instagram and purchasing this if you want it. Do not buy it from Quince & Company, and just don't buy Quince & Company either. They don't actually pay their people who are not white. So if you have a problem with that, you probably have a problem with me. If you have a problem with me saying that. I'm doing this out of Barocco Ultra Wool that I have left over from doing a husband sweater, which I should have brought, but I didn't because I'm lame like that. This is colorway 3363. Such a great, it's a really, there you go. That's it. And I'm using 4.5 millimeter needles. These are a pair of clovers, I think I had kicking around. They look like clovers. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. Maybe they're just random wooden needles. That's also possible. So 4.5 millimeter needle, which I think is a 7. And this is how far I've gotten. So you do 2.5 repeats of the pattern, the texture pattern, which is very gorgeous. I'm glad it's picking up so nicely. That is the color and the pattern. But I might add an extra pattern, because not only do I have enough yarn, because I have 4 balls of these all together, and apparently another cracker. How many crackers are in here? Okay, I think I have negated all the crackers. But I have 2 full skein, full balls, because I was a little overzealous when I bought them, because I didn't know how much I would need to finish my husband's sweater, and thusly ended up with 2 full and 2 quarter used. So I used one full quarter, 3/4 of a ball. I'm on the second one, but my kid has a really long torso, so if I'm making it for him, I will need to add an extra repeat. But if it's going to be too small for him and I want to make it for my cousin who's pregnant with her second boy, then I can make it the right length and not have to worry. So there are thoughts that have to go into this that I have not yet completely figured out. Although I think I've got time. And it does look like I mean, it'll be good around, so I don't know. Maybe I'll hold it up to him before I do the sleeving. But I've got like 4 more rows till I do stuff. Till I do different stuff. I think it's where you separate for the sleeves and then you do other things. I should have read the pattern ahead, but I didn't. Because I'm a crazy knitter who doesn't read ahead. Separate for front and back. Okay, so that's my next. That is where I'm at next. So I might go a little further. I don't think it'll really matter. I think you just have to keep track of where you are in the pattern. But if I do another pattern repeat, I don't think it'll be the end of the world. So there. Plus, it's like 20 degrees Celsius, between 20 and 33. We had a couple 35s. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I have air conditioning. Which of course is nothing for the southern states who are all mocking me mercilessly. Yes, but it's too warm for me. I adjusted to the cold. Now I can't warm. I can't warm. I can't warm. I'm too big. Big people, we don't like warm. I'm generalizing, but most of the big people I know, we're not big fans of being big and sweaty and stuff. Like, no. From warmth, not from like actual exertion and fun. Okay, up next is the Herrera by Paula Pereira. Wow, that's a lot of I can't talk right. Is it in this one? I pulled out some. No, I don't think it's in this one. I don't think it's in either of these two. Why did I pull these out? Probably because I wanted to knit something from them. I think it's in this one. No. This is the reality of what we go through. I could just look, right? Because it's printed on the pattern. No, it's not. Guys. I swear it was in this one. No, it's not. Who is on the cover for it? Oh, it's in this one. It's the one I'm avoiding. Which makes no sense because I have a like whole other, like there were 3 things I kitted up in this. And yeah, so I did the Nazarene. This is what it looks like in the thing. Isn't that cute? Doesn't it look cute? FYI, it doesn't look that cute in everybody else's pictures, and I'm sure I won't be able to rock this like boho look. I'm just gonna look like a bag lady who has mysteriously stumbled into the town, but it will be what I need it to be, and it should be comfy, and fingers crossed. And that is from the Pom Pom 2018. I actually got out all the spring summer issues I have because I don't have a lot of spring summer-esque knits, and I really want to change that, and I think I should change that, and then I realized there's like only 4 months of actual spring or summer here. But either way, last time we saw it, I think it was just like a little cast on, but now I've actually gotten to the point where I am doing the first stripe, and I actually put a little stitch keeper here, or no, a progress keeper, and of course you're not going to show up, are you? Can I angle you so that you can? No, because we're going to get horribly blown out. Thank you, work. I'm on vacation right now. It's just a cute little macaron style deal. And so you knit forever in in your solid color, which I chose black because I'm a glutton for punishment, and it's I'm doing it out of the Knit Picks Lindy chain, which I kitted it up. I kit up 3 things of Knit Picks: the Nazarene, this one, and then another one from the same issue of Pom Pom, because apparently that was what I was doing that summer. Thank you, past me, for thinking about these things. However, future me really questions the fact that you bought 2 things that are both gray and purple. But I'll get into that a little later. I have gotten into the first color. There are going to be 3 colors. Oh, hey! There is a measuring tape in here. Yay, team! Do you know how I lose these? And then the kiddo gets them and like starts like pulling them and like playing with them and chewing on them, and they break. Like I things they don't tell you when you have children. So these are the 3 contrast colors that'll be going into the stripes across the chest. This is the top one, and this is the second one, and then this is the third one. I don't know which order I will put them in, but there you have it. And I will have an asinine amount of them left over, so I don't know, maybe a tank for the kiddo. But we're getting there. There is now like actual pattern that is not just solid stockinette. I really don't understand the I-cord. I'm hoping that when the I-cord cast on, I'm hoping that when I go to block it, it'll actually like stop rolling up and being annoying. I do know that linen just gets better and better the more you wash it, so I'm hoping that, because it's killing my hands. I think I like working with dishcloth cotton more than I like working with this, and I hate dishcloth cotton. That's why, unless you request dishcloths from me, I won't make them for you just because you want them. You better request them as like a Christmas present or something. But so that's in this bag. And, oh, I guess I should include the pattern with it, huh? Bad me. So, and here's the pattern for you. I just photocopied it so I didn't ruin my magazine, and thank goodness for that, because I got everything highlighted and all kinds of, there's like 8 types of different pen in here. I destroy patterns. There's a good thing. I'm just so happy that, you know, you can like photocopy them now and have a working copy, because my goodness. And you do not want to see the patterns my mother worked on back in the day, because like they're covered in like little pencil marks and erases and underlines and numbers. So that's just how we roll. In my gorgeous bag from Awilda. Look at that. How cute. I shouldn't say how cute with the dog who's eating knitting, but I mean, I feel the vibe. I feel the vibe. Earlier this month, we'll go with that. Carolyn Dick, C. Dick Designs, released a sock pattern called the Pern Socks. If you're anything like me, which is pseudo geek, but not 100% geek, you're just kind of there. Like when I read fantasy occasionally, but usually it's like hardcore. So Lord of the Rings, diehard fan. Robert Jordan, the Wheel of Time books, diehard fan. And the Anne McCaffrey Pern books, diehard fan. So as soon as I saw that they were Pern, I was like, I need to knit these, but I don't need more socks in my life. Look at how many socks I've got going on. And then I've got more socks, right? Like, so, and I've actually started thinking, okay, I got to start knitting socks for people for Christmas, because if I start knitting socks for people for Christmas, then I don't have to think at Christmas time. I can just be like, here's your socks, go forth. And Carolyn had posted that a friend who has some tendon issues now, I think. It hurts her to knit socks. She can knit other things, just not socks. Really wanted these. And I was like, oh, hey, I'll do them. And so we messaged back and forth on Insta, and she sent me some yarn that she picked from her stash. It doesn't have a label, so I can't tell you what this is. If I were to guess, it's probably a brand that we shouldn't mention anyway. So that's fine with me. but she figured it would look really good in the pattern, and it does. And she also sent me some jam, which has not lasted. Jam does not last in my household. And some seeds, which are going to be put out back, because you can never have too many gardening goodnesses. And so cast it on, and this pattern basically knits itself. So this is it upside down. Tobacco, leave the crackers. Not for you. She's like, I want the crackers, man. Because apparently she sounds like Cartman. So you've got, so if you like twisted stitches, this is very twisted stitchy. If you don't like twisted stitches, it's not that many, so it still shouldn't bug you. But so you go in there. I love this. I love the way it looks. And then I've just done the first heel flap. Flap. So I'll be picking up the gusset, working my way down. The top of the foot is just plain pearl, reverse stockinette. And so it should basically knit itself at this point, but it was so fun, so intuitive. I think this was like 3 days of work. Of course, US 1, 2.25 millimeter needle. I'm doing the 64 stitch one. There are 4 sizes, so there's a lot of options. And it's got a lot of give. So, I mean, that is also really nice. So I'm looking forward to having these done and getting them off so that they can be enjoyed, because that's awesome. And I might also make a pair for a friend's kid. I don't know if my friend's gonna make them, because she's like going through librarian school and stuff, but I think the kiddo would really appreciate them, so I might just make some for the kiddo. If the kiddo's feet has stopped growing. I think in high school, it's pretty sure that the feet are at a stage which they're not going to grow extensively, so I think I can get away with it. But I know that they really enjoy the Pern books, so I might do that. Because, hey, spread the wealth. The last thing I am knitting on, oh my goodness, this is going to be a long one, guys. I'm sorry. Not sorry. May have been watching RuPaul's Drag Race. The next one I picked up, this is my birthday present to myself. The pattern was, and then the yarn I bought with some birthday money from my in-laws, and it is the Chibi by Noriko Ho. Woo! I printed it in black and gray, and that kind of tells you what it is. And so that's Nori-chan, and I went to Nori-chan at Nori-chan Knits on Instagram. That's her Instagram handle, and you can buy through her PayHip. And she does a sliding scale, so you can, you know, pay what you can. And I picked up another pattern, which I'll probably knit after this one, but Chibi, which of course was inspired by Sailor Moon. So you know I had to do it, right? Like, that's like a prerequisite for my life. And then, okay, here's something funny for you. Funny story. So the next part of the story is that Teal Torch Knit is doing kits, and I think they're still available, so feel free to go get a kit, because they reduce the amount, like there's a price reduction for getting the kit, so it's really nice. It's nice, and the colors are nice, and yeah, it's out of TTK DK. There you go. So again, I ordered I think I did the 5/6. By the way, also, I will say, where's my sizes here? This one, of course I'm all over the place here. Yeah, I see you stealing crackers, Tobacco. What are you gonna do with that? Just gonna stare at it? Okay. So this goes up to a 62.5 inch chest, and she recommends anywhere between a +3 or a -3 of ease. So it could go up to a 65.5 inch chest, which is really size inclusive, so yay! But also, like, I mean, it's just cute. So I went, and there are several different colorways, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna be experimental. I'm gonna get one going to get one that has this like really electric lime, and it's called Prickly Pear. And I was like, okay, because the actual pattern is done in like Chibiusa, in her traditional, so bright pink and bright yellow. And I was like, not feeling that. But I was like, I'm gonna step outside my box. I'm not gonna do like the dark. I'm not gonna do a neutral. Where are you going, Tobacco? She's got this little cracker in her mouth, and she's like, I'm just gonna go over here, guys. No one's gonna see me. Wait, you saw me. I can't go over there. The exploits of a kitten. There she goes. She's on the floor. She's gonna go over there and eat it. Alrighty. And so I saw this, and I was like, ooh, yes, this is what I need. Stepping out of my box. Stepping out of my box. Gonna step out of my box. And these colorways are called, and you can order them for the different sizes and stuff. So this is Dancing with a Stranger and Prickly Pear. Y'all ready to laugh at me? Y'all ready to see what I think is stepping outside of my box? Purple. Purple and lime green. Basically, I'm replicating a version of the Joker. Can we have a moment to talk about purple? Oh, maybe we could have a moment to talk about purple. Maybe I wasn't stepping out of the box just as much as I thought. Yeah, my husband pointed that out and laughed at me. And I lost my notebook. Oh well. So yeah, thought I was stepping out of my no. Thought, but was not. I am, however, finished all of the glorious color work. I'm not sure if I can show you here. There we go. How awesome is that? So I'm done the color work. There's a little bit of stockinette, and then I go into the little pattern that goes on the body. I have just started my second ball of the purple. I have finished using all of the Prickly Pear, so I'll have some left over in DK, which is good. I mean, I'm sure I can think of something to put with it. Actually, I'll probably just leave it in here, and then I don't have to carry it around. Or worry about a kitten making off with it, because they do that. And then they chew through the yarn, and then you find half a project over here and the yarn over there. And then I have no one to blame but myself, because if I was really that smart, I would have used it in one of the many yarn bags I have, because I have more than enough. In fact, I have an entire box of yarn, of project bags, and I just, seriously, I'm using the bag the yarn came in. That is the height of laziness, I know, but some days you just want to cast on and be a struggle bus, and I'm okay with that, and you should be too. And there's Tobacco. Hi, Tobacco. That's one of my kittens. She's like almost 2, and her sister Bonito is a giant foosball, but she's a tuxedo. Hey, Tobamew. No. No, she would like to not be acknowledged at this point in her life. Alrighty, so that was everything I've knit on. I did get some yarn mail. I saw on Sultan Knits Instagram that Mud Punch was doing an update, and I managed to snag a skein. It is an 80/20 superwash merino nylon. It is not the base I am used to at all for an 80/20. This is definitely not one of Sheila's. So I'm intrigued. And I want to see how it goes. This is a psychedelic cascade colorway. There's like 6 stripes, I think. Either way, super excited. And I pre-ordered the Beetlejuice kit because when you have birthday money burning a hole in your pocket and you see something like a Beetlejuice self-striping yarn, you have to get it, right? Like, that's a prerequisite in my life at this point. I don't think I can't. Maybe I can't. Never mind. We won't even bother with that. I'm just gonna do it. All right, so spinning. Some of the spinning I didn't get to show you last time, so I'm going to show you this time, because who doesn't love to see spinning? I don't know, I didn't write down how much yardage I have of this. This is Hello Yarn in the pigment colorway. It was the Super Summer Knit Together colorway, and it looks like this. Came out really nice. I would say this is probably sport, maybe a DK. Probably closer to a DK, but not a worsted. Hard to tell. I really suck at like being like, oh, it's this size. Unless it's a fingering. Fingering I can usually spot. Like this would be a fingering, which is what I was going for. This is Heavenly Wools Haunui handcraft wool, 24.5 microns, 100 grams approximately, in the Plimsoll line. A dark gray base. I got 438 yards. It's a gradient and it's gorgeous. And it is probably, most definitely a fingering. I spun it super thin. I Navajo plied it. And yeah, so super happy about that. And I haven't gotten to the one I am still spinning, Carrie's Furnace. It's still on the wheel because I've been getting sidetracked by the garden. That and my kid has stopped napping half the time, so it's a very slippery slope. And the new job has me up at 7:30 in the morning, and I haven't actually adjusted my schedule for that yet because I am not a early bird, I'm a late bird. So I am the meme about the permanently exhausted pigeon. That would be me. I actually took the dive and spun up my Captain Tight Pants, which is a Rambouillet comb top from Into the World, which my mother-in-law gave me because I was having a rough day. And if you're having a rough day or a rough time, what you need to do is take out that special skein or fluff that you've been hoarding and actually do something with it. And I love it. And I think I might like have a flashback to 2012 or 2010 when the big thing was, and make like a lacy Bactus or Batkus, whatever way. You remember those side-to-side things that we all made a million of, and there was a lacy version and then there was the plain version. I might make one with this. I'm almost 99% sure that's what Karen from Around the Twist did. And I'm completely okay with being a copycat in that fashion. But I think that that's what this would be good at. It's basically a sport. It's a little bit more than a fingering, but it's definitely not like, it's fingering in some spots. It goes up to a sport. I don't think it hits DK anywhere. So, super excited for that, although it's Rambouillet, and I can't remember if I've washed this or not, because it will bloom. I really need to start like tagging things that have been washed and haven't been washed. The last thing I'll show you was something that has been in my stash since 2014. It's seriously, you need another cracker? Like I don't feed them. She's trying to be dainty and she really sucks at it. There you go. Have your cracker. Yeah, take it. Go. Well, don't knock things over. You have no grace. It's like a battering ram. And this is the Spunky Eclectic Club from 2014, January. It's Merino Tencel. It's called Psychedelic Mushrooms. I got 374 yards. And these are not my colors at all. Not remotely. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. Maybe knit something for someone I hate. It's definitely a fingering for the most part. There's a couple spots where it gets really sporty, but for the most part, it's a fingering. I mean, I did a really good job on it. No. Does that make you think it needs to be? No. No. This is bad. Oh, my color palette. So, yeah. Don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I spun it, so hey, it's done. Yay. And if you stuck with me this long and you would like to know what I'm cross-stitching and what I'm reading, then here we go. So, cross-stitch wise, I finished another page on the opening gambit. I'm gonna pull it a little bit off the Q-snap. I'm not pulling it all the way off the Q-snap. So I have 4 pages done, and 4 pages done looks like this. Here we go. So yeah, doing pretty good on that. I'm working on the 4th page. I feel like it won't take me very long to finish the 4th page, just because I had already done a fair bit of it when I was working from the center outwards, because I did start at the dead center and work outwards so that I would have as much edge as I could. And so yeah, now I'm just working my way across. So 5 pages to go? Yeah, 5 pages to go. I had used about 6 skeins of floss. I'm using Leo and Roxy Yarn Co.'s hand-dyed floss in the Morticia colorway, because you cannot go wrong with the colorway called Morticia. So yeah, that's where I'm at. My little stitch minder. I have to be careful about working around it when the bub is up, because he likes to grab things and come and run and jump on Mom, because Mom is basically a jungle gym. And one of the other things I have going on, or I haven't shown you, but that I have worked on, is super old. Like I lived in Minnesota when I started this old. So, what, 10 years now? And it's a Janlin kit. It's called the Northern Lights. She's back in the window, kids. It looks like this, but without the glare. There we go. And my husband picked it, and he really wanted it. And as you can tell, I've really gotten far. I picked it up. It's a little dirty because I think someone dumped some potting soil on it, but this is where it's at. So this is actually a 4-page pattern. You can see the trees. I'm basically, there you go. So I've got the trees and the edge there. This is the edge. The edge, this is the edge. As far as you go. So now I'm working over, this is a page difference here, and I've gotten that bit done. This is all single strand, and some of it is single strand half crosses, and this is a very dirty piece of Ada, so that's gonna be fun, but I'll wash it, it'll be fine. And yeah, this is where I've gotten to. Like I said, it's 4 pages. It's a 4-page pattern. It's not huge, and it shouldn't be so hard. It's not even like a full 4 pages, I guess. Well, I don't know. If you consider something that you fold out like this, you couldn't have copied the pattern that quickly, besides it was upside down. But if you do that, do you think that's 4 pages, or is that 1 page? Because if that's 1 page, then it's actually an 8-page pattern. But I'm basically done 1 full page if it's an 8-page pattern. Almost 2, I don't know. Either way, I was working on that during some calls I had at my last job, which is how it got worked on. I need to just break it out and take it out to the living room where I do a lot of cross stitching. But the best light is actually in this room, because it gets the whole day passively. So it's a really good one for that. Those are the only 2 things I had for cross stitch. But for reading, I'm actually gonna, I read this book a while ago, but given the recent discovery in Kamloops, 2 discoveries in Saskatchewan, 1 discovery in Brandon, Manitoba, of residential school children bodies, I think you should probably do some residential school reading, and this is one of the better ones I've come across. It's called Genocidal Love, A Life After Residential School. It's by Bevan Fox. It's published by the University of Regina Press. You can go to the University of Regina Press, or the University of Regina Press, and order it. I believe you can also order it on Amazon in Canada. And it's her memoir, but she makes it about someone else. Like, she changes the names, but it's still her life. So it's a very good read. There's also one called The Education of Augie Marasty, which is also put out by University of Regina Press. That one's also a really good one. It's very small. I think it's less than 100 pages, but also highly recommend it. If you're... but yeah, read more Indigenous stuff. That's always good. Don't make Indigenous people do the work for you to get where you need to be. I am the product of residential school. My grandfather went to residential school. He went to the one that was recently talked about in Lebret, that they are removing the giant statue of a priest from. That is very inappropriate. Just saying. Nothing is a surprise to me. We all knew, I think all Indigenous people knew this existed, so this is not a surprise to us. I guess it's a surprise to everyone else, but not us. If you're in the States, there's a great book called Vanished in Hiawatha. That's about stateside residential schools, particularly in North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin area, that kind of area, Montana. So I recommend picking that up. I know you can get that through Amazon. There's a lot of good writing about it. Just be careful about who you're reading. There's a lot of hit or miss, and so yeah. But I do recommend Bevan Fox. I do recommend the Augie Marasty. Yeah. The other book I finished, which is a total turn of tales, is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, or Capote, however you want to say it. Capote. Not as good as I was hoping, because it's supposed to be one of like the first true crime books ever written. It's supposed to be like gory and like all that good stuff, but it wasn't. It was just a basic book. It was a 3 out of 5 for me, which means I felt okay reading it. I'm glad I read it for its historical context. Am I going to be like, dude, you need to read this? Not to anyone unless they're like, I'm a true crime buff who hasn't read In Cold Blood, which was me up until I read this. And now, yeah, go put that away and be like, did there, done that. Just gonna throw it on over there. It might fall down. It might fall down over there. I really need to clean out my shelves. Not gonna lie to you, it's kind of a mess. Up here, yes, that works. In here I am storing all of the books I have read, except there's like 2, 3, 4 smaller like double stacks that I haven't read, that need to go into the living room or into, oh, and Heartberries by Teresa Marie Malcott. That's another good book. It has nothing to do with residential school, but I still feel it's a very good Indigenous book about an Indigenous life that is important. Stay away from Sherman Alexie. We all know that he's become very problematic. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. And I know that Clearing the Plains has been talked about a lot, and I've read it. I think the author is a little problematic in that he doesn't really give the appropriate amount of recognition for people who came before him and did the work before him. And that bugs me. So if that's okay with you, then that's fine. But that's a very academic thing to do, which is why it was done. But I would much rather have you reading Medicine That Walks by Lux. Her last name's Lux. or Lost Harvests by Sarah Carter. And then this came in the mail on my birthday, and I'm so excited. It's Meg Boggs' book, Fitness for Everybody. And can I just say, as a fat girl who wants to be strong, I kind of love her. A little bit of girl crush. It's got great workouts. She shows you how to do them. But it's also got like stories about like her coming to terms with her body, her coming to terms with having been pregnant, her coming to terms with her mental health. And then she goes into like supplements, gears, how to do things, how to incorporate things, but how to do it in a bigger body. And she's got different, the great thing about this book is that she's got different workout sets. So you can do these workouts, and there's great pictures. They're full color pictures of each move so that you can do them at your own. And I mean, what I love about her is she's like, it doesn't matter what size you are, just do it. And she's not a tiny lady. And I love that. And I just, yeah, she's awesome. So, really good body positivity, fitness, just, yeah, I think she's genius. I think she's genius, and I think everyone else should think she's genius. She's at Meg Boggs on Instagram and TikTok. She's meg.boggs, online at megboggs.com. I got this through Chapters Indigo because I'm trying to use less Amazon, and it took a little while, but it was worth it. Chapters probably isn't a lot better than Amazon, but hey, do what you can where you can, because that's what you can do. And after all of that, I am here to say that that is everything I've accomplished since we last talked, which it seems like a lot, but there was stuff I hadn't shown you before, so I've kind of padded it a little bit. Yeah, I will try and record again, maybe in 2 weeks, maybe in a month. Everybody seems to be okay with just record when you have time, so that is my plan. It could be every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, who knows. But I'll just pop up from time to time and say, hello, this is what I'm doing. And I feel that's fair. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for the nice welcome back. It's nice to see everybody is still kind of kicking around, and hello to the new faces. If you need me for any reason, you can find me on Instagram as Sadie Ruin, or you could message me. I think you can message people on YouTube. I don't know. I haven't used it yet. And I will check you later.